Welcome back to Just Off the Plate, episode 57. Just the two of us tonight. We are live and not on time. Coming off a holiday weekend. Not much baseball, but there were a few games, so we will talk about them. Armando, how's your stats?
Pretty good, man. It's just what they say, you can't buy a hit.
You cannot buy them.
I'm not gonna buy them, man. It'd be nice if I could.
Yeah, I agree. I might be broke, but I'll have good stats.
That's what matters, right? I mean, it's what was it, I think Saturday. They're like, "Hey, man, you hit the ball hard." I'm like, "Yeah, but no base hit. I didn't do it. They're not even sack flies. They're nothing." That's like,
Yeah, well, that's still a
what's up,
victory
Ronte?
in my book.
Hitting the ball, right?
Yeah, hitting it hard, right? That's a win. That's a win.
It is. You can. Don't get me wrong. I've said it to other people, but like when you're going through it, you're like, I don't give a fuck. I didn't get a hit. Like I'd rather hit it hard and get it. Like all right, hit it hard and you got a base hit, and then a cherry on top is you get a RBI. But you can't have it all, right? Sometimes it's just
No. You know that sound that you hear as soon as you push the lever on the toilet? Yes. So that would be the sound of my stats if it had an audible noise.
they just tanked this weekend.
Right?
Huh?
Just
Oh, shit. It's tough, man.
Yep. I mean, we had a game yesterday. I didn't swing the bat once. I don't know that I've ever done that. Have you ever gone to a game and taken two? I only had two at bats, right? A strikeout and a walk, but I didn't swing it. I didn't swing once.
What's funny is you probably had more swings on deck than you did.
Way more. Dude, I was hitting bombs on deck. What are you talking about?
Right?
Everything's timed up on deck.
Oh shit, man. No shit, dude. You know, it's one of those days, man, where you just kind of reflect on your at bat and you're like, man, I should have done this, I should have done that. And sometimes you freeze, right? I mean, if you're not timing it right, I mean, it's like, why even swing? Because it's going to look really stupid now because you're going to be like the ball's almost across the plate and you're starting to swing, so.
Or you can just not mentally be ready, right?
Here's the thing. Sometimes, you're right, it's a mental game, right? You cannot be mentally ready. But the other thing what happens is you get up there and you kind of hope that they walk you right at that point because you're not mentally ready. So it's like, hey, he's doing you a favor if he walks you, right? Because how many times have you seen me get antsy at second base or at short? Like, dude, throw a fucking strike, man.
Yeah.
Like this dude's not gonna fucking swing. Just fucking throw the ball right there, and the ball's going everywhere but the strike zone, and that guy gets a nice little freebie.
Yeah. Especially when you're watching and you see that, hey, it's going everywhere.
Going everywhere, man.
Yeah, let me look at some pitches. But no, you look at two strikes in a row. But
hey, all of a sudden he dials it in when you get out there, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Ronte, Dominic,
Or you go in there.
Justin?
I'm thinking I might get hit after what transpired the last half inning, right?
What happened the last half inning?
Well, we had a guy get hit in the helmet, in the head.
Oh, that's true.
So, okay, is there going to be any kind of retaliation?
Oh, that's
because
right.
I'm leading off, right?
Yes.
It's like, well, if it's going to happen, why not happen here?
Yeah, and I've had that happen, like where you come after a weird situation, like you said, the other half inning, and you're like, am I gonna get the one? Am I gonna receive the pain here, the payback? Luckily, it didn't, because that's not the pitcher that you want to get the payback from.
No, and that's what I'm thinking. You're thinking the whole time. Actually, I'm thinking as soon as I see Mario get hit in the head, that's the first thing I'm thinking. Okay, he's walking first. He's okay. Now, am I going to get hit?
Yeah, dude. It's I've been there. I've definitely been there, and luckily there's no retaliation or there's no ill intent in anything. I will say that I got three pretty high to the face. Probably nothing to do with anything. Just me. Just the ball wants to just kind of wants to hit me, but
It's tail into the head.
yeah, it's telling to like to my face. I'm like, hey man, that's kind of close, but it's part of the game. It's part of the game. The kind of a good segue into a couple of things that happened this weekend, and I think this weekend a little bit of last weekend, but there's sometimes you'll see a play, and you might think there's some ill intent behind it, right? Like, I'll give you one for example that happened. I think it was last week. I don't, if it was this weekend, I don't. No, it was last weekend. We got somebody who's trying to lay out a double, and he slides in head first, right? And it's him trying to leg this thing out and turn it into a double. And so what happens is the second baseman is receiving the ball kind of from behind, right? So he's not looking at the person's line. He knows the guy's coming because people are saying, "Hey, he's going, he's going." He comes, grabs the ball, and what do you do, right? You come back fast to try to drop the tag.
Swipe it, yeah.
Swipe it, right? Well, somebody's face was in the way when that happened.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you see something like that, you might think there's some ill intent in that. Hey, man, you put that tag on kind of hard. Well, yes, if you look at it that way, right? But the alternative is that he would, if normally most people, not everybody, but most people sliding feet first.
Right.
So that wouldn't even be a problem, right? You come in hard. Number two, the alternative is what you're saying is that you want him to gently apply tag, which is not going to happen.
No. Or let me look at you first before I apply the tag to see if I can even do it.
Yeah. It's like you just come in real quick, and that's what happened, right?
That's the risk you take when you go head first.
Yeah.
Right?
You do.
Yeah. Even at home, right? That's anywhere. Your face is right where the action is.
So let me give you another one. Last week, this weekend, somehow the ball gets away. Runner's on second. Nobody's coming third for whatever reason. Right? Catcher has a ball, and he's like, "Oh shit, nobody's at third." He runs to third, trying to meet the runner at third. He puts his knee down, right? Slides in. Well, the guy slides in head first, and he takes a knee to the face with shin guards. So kind of blacks him out.
Yeah.
Now, to me, you kind of go, "Hey man, well, why'd you put your knee up?" And blah blah, in purpose. But it's like, I don't think he thought that the guy was gonna go head first, right?
Uh-huh.
You think feet first. So if I put my feet there, then you hit cleats against shin guard. That's what guards are supposed to do, protect you, and everything's fine. But you do it the other way, and it looks bad. Especially since, luckily, the player didn't get hurt. It was Chris from the Cyclones. But
yeah,
I think that I don't think there was bad intent. There just bad circumstances.
Well, you're really vulnerable. When you go head first, you got the fingers right, and if you got the fingers stretched out, you might get a spike. Someone might step on them.
Yeah, that happens too. Yeah, it's true.
And there's nothing protecting them. I mean, I see these oven mitts every once in a while, but not everybody has those.
And I don't think.
But even then,
Yeah. I think they're more for to keep your hands, jam them up. But I don't think it's anything to do with stamping on them.
Yeah.
At least I don't think there's a plate on them or anything like that. So.
I don't know. Your feet are more tougher than your hands.
Yeah, I mean, you can still get hurt with your feet, but it's still a little bit different.
Yeah, I think you got shoes on. You got spikes too. So.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Sometimes, these balls get away from the pitcher, and people perceive it to be ill intent, right? And or you put the tag on a little too hard. Some ill intent. But sometimes it's not. It's like, okay, let walk me through it. What did you want that player to do? Do you want him to, like you said, turn around, look at it? Okay, now I can apply the tag.
Yeah.
No, you just come back and you drop it real quick, and it just happens. What's up, Bo? Yeah, Ronte was saying Kyle was a little wild, and I would say,
yeah. Every time I've seen him pitch, it's he has some wild ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does throw hard. And he can throw good strikes, but it seems like every once in a while, one's going to sail over your head or around your head.
Well, nobody better than to pinpoint the pitch than Omar, right? He throw one way behind the batter, and then he comes back inside.
Yeah, well, maybe that's a strategy. Maybe he keeps you guessing. I don't know.
It's like he don't even know what it's going.
Don't get too comfortable there.
Luckily, Omar doesn't throw as hard as Kyle, but. It's part of the game, man. It's part of the game. I mean, it's when I'm I think this weekend I turned a double play, and when I went to watch it again, I didn't realize how close a guy came into breaking up a double play. I just kind of grabbed it, didn't even really think about it, and threw it to first. But when I look at it, I'm like, hey, it was close. Like he could have, if I would have stepped forward, we would have collided. But for some reason I decided to step a little back and rear back and throw it and avoided contact. But it's baseball, man.
That is, and he mentioned that umpire, and I don't recognize him.
That's the first time I've seen him.
Yeah. So I guess he is new. I think his name was Jose.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I heard somebody say that. Yeah, you're right. David Cotton said, I got kneed in the head going head first, into second, crossing the bag, receiving the throw from short. At least that's what they told me after when I woke up. And that's what I mean. And it does happen, man. I mean, you're putting the knee down. There's a lot of body parts and a lot of things moving around there.
You got fragile stuff, going into something that you don't know. Maybe if it's a wild throw or the throw is wide, that throw might peg you in the face.
I mean, how many times have you seen the first baseman kind of pull off, right? And he hits the runner or gets the first baseman in a way where he can almost yank his arm, get his arm yanked by the runner going the other way. So it's if you don't make that throw, it's or proper throw, it goes can hurt somebody, So yeah, Justin saying it was effectively wild. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
It's really hard to do a swim move with your feet, though.
Yes, but here, let me ask you this. What's up, Hector? Let me ask you this. Should you do the swim move? Would you think there's enough eyes to make it effective? Because I've always felt that, right? You see the MLB, you see these guys, let me move my hand, let me do this. But sometimes, and no fault of the umpires, sometimes you just happen to be in a bad spot where something blocks your way, and you do that swim move for all for nothing because the ball beats you, right? Whoa, so you do the swim move and you move your hand out. And it's like, wait a minute, but the ball beats you, and they swipe, and it looks like they got you.
I guess that depends on where the umpire is, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Generally, it doesn't work in this league unless he's right on top of you. But
but that's what I'm saying. Like they try to put themselves in the best position depending where they started.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, when the play happens, you're like, dude, you're in the wrong spot. But it's like that's after the fact, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't know how that play was gonna come out and end up being that way.
Well, we say this all the time. You can't make it close, and if you got to throw a swim move, then it might be too close.
Yeah, exactly.
To get the safe call.
Nothing wrong with trying, right? I mean,
Absolutely. What do? You slide head first?
I kind of do both, man.
Yeah.
I do both. It just depends on how I feel. Like I think the last few times gone head first, just because I felt like like you said, could do a little bit of swim move, but I feel like I lost a little pep in my step. So it's like, hey, I gotta do what I can to get to be safe.
I'm more of a feet guy.
Are you?
Unless it's home plate, right? I think if you're gonna get a swim move call, it's probably gonna be at home because you got the ump right there on top of you.
Yeah.
But everything else, I'm over feet because I like to do the pop up, right? You go feet, you pop up. If the ball gets past somebody, then hey, you're ready to run.
Yeah.
Versus if you go in head first, you got to almost do a push up to get yourself back.
Which I think is important, right? I see too many guys, whether they slide head first or they slide feet first, like they hug the fucking. If you properly slide, you're supposed to bounce up and then be able to go. But some guys like, okay, I made it safe. Let me just stay right here. But like, no, man.
Even with the feet.
With the feet, yeah.
Okay.
I'll see some guys that'll just stay there, like, oh, I'm glad I made it. But you're right. You gotta slide in, pop up, and look and see where the ball is, and then. But now, based on yesterday, sometimes that's a bad move. Don't even look at the ball. Just stay right here a second.
That's true.
Right. Don't try to be a hero because you're a hero or zero or a hero. So, but hey,
pop-up slide is sexy.
Right, we got Rhino in the house. He said, "Hey, Hector says one of you guys is honking outside, waiting for y'all to hurry up."
That might be our tonight's guest. I don't know.
Right,
trying to get in.
I forgot.
Is your window open or something? That's pretty loud.
I know, right? It did sound loud, but he could have been right there too, because for them to hear it to the mics, that's pretty loud.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see. What did Juan say? Juan said he says that he don't slide. What did he say? He don't slide because it slows him down. Well, what happened?
Yeah, just run him over. That's it.
I mean, like 2 weeks ago, one of our guys didn't slide, right? And had he slid, it would have made an easy call. But he didn't slide, and it made it more of a harder call to make, and it didn't go our way. And it happens.
You know, sometimes you just don't want to get dirty.
right? Believe me, I gotta wash my own clothes, man. So I,
Yeah, that dirt. Sometimes it's hard to get out of those.
it is. What's up, Isaiah?
Grass is even worse.
You know, it's grass is no well, grass is worse, but I have my little method of getting the iron out of my pants, and I actually perfected it now because now what I do is a pre-wash, and then whatever's still left, now I hit it with that soap, and it's easier. Because before I would attack the whole thing.
You attack the whole stain. You
Yeah,
just all on top of it.
yeah, and you know what's funny? It was like the dumbest thing ever because now I think about it, I was like, you know, uh, I'd waste a lot of time on a whole patch that really wasn't stuck to the pants, right? I put it in the washer, and it's like, oh, now it comes down to the small, and I was like, oh, I just got to work on that and move on. And
Yeah.
so it made my life easier. Now I'm like, all right, cool, I can deal with some white pants, you know. So
Having a system is everything. Yeah, as long as you don't dry it, hell, you could wash it again.
it's true, but
Yeah.
as long as you don't forget it, right? Because those pants dry pretty quickly if
Yeah.
you let them sit in there. But what's up, Serge? But it's
You gotta soak. You gotta soak.
You do, and I do soak,
Yeah.
and I think that helps. But I've always thought in my head, I'm like, man, because I used to soak for 24 hours, right? I'm like, man, can I reduce it? Like, how much is enough? Right?
That's it, dude. I'm 3 or 4 days. My
On-
things are sitting
on
there
that shit. 20.
because I forget about them. I get caught up, and you got a game a week, and you. Oh, wait a minute, my pants are still soaked.
They're still sitting when you go to watch something else. Yeah, it's tough, and of course, the other thing that I kind of hate about sliding too is you rip your pants, right? Like now you got these like pants that these pants ain't cheap. Like depending
No.
on what you pay for, you're paying at least 30 plus, 35 plus, right? You can pay $50 in some places. I know you got a deal one time on some pants, but that doesn't always happen, and
No.
it's like you rip them and just like, dang. I mean, 'cause I got a shitload of fucking pants. Some with the black stripe, blue stripe, this stripe, that stripe, and it's just like, man, that's just a lot of different pants. But then some of them I just don't let go. Like I'm like, you know what, this is already holy, man. I just gotta let it. I can just, hey, we gotta move on.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look good, right?
Yeah, you do.
Can't be showing up with clean pants but holes in them.
Yeah, it's true, man.
But I agree with David. I have the pads, knee pads, right? Uh, I don't know, basketball, volleyball, whatever. But man, those things come in handy.
They do. What I hate.
It's almost like a sleeve that you would wear for your elbow.
You know, it's one of those things where like I have those like you said volleyball knee pads, and what I hate is when I slide, and this is what I got today. I slide.
You got the pattern stain on it?
No, well, if I don't wear it, right? Because I don't always wear it. When I do wear it is when I have like a scrape that's healing, and when it's healing, it's dry and like you put your pressure on it and it fucking hurts. So I put the knee pad on there, so like, all right, if I slide again, it'll somewhat protect it. So, but you end up fucking not re-injuring it, but re-scraping it. And it's like, oh shit, here we go again. And I hate it. I just healed my knee with that scrape, and it was like, oh, I could bend down, tie my shoelaces, and not hurt,
Yeah.
And then I did it again. I was like, oh, here we go again.
Well, if you wear it all the time,
Exactly. No, it's true. It's true.
that's what I do. And bye-bye strawberries.
Yeah, by my strawberries,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I can't deal with those.
And that's why I think the cool guys on the show here that don't slide, that's what they do. Like, oh, I'm not gonna rip my pants.
Yeah.
I'm
Not gonna get hurt.
I'm gonna get hurt. It's like, hey man, I'm out, man. I gotta do better. I gotta hit over the fence or something. I think people like Dre and Jimmy, just don't even have to worry about that. Or Dominic now, those home run hitters or Alo, they're just like, hey man, you know what? I hit home runs. I don't have to worry about sliding.
Who wants to get dirty or sweaty? I'm gonna jog. I'm not gonna run, and I don't have to slide.
Yeah. It's that's part of the game, right? It's part of the game. You gotta sliding in. I've even slid into first, which is I know a big no. But
Feet first.
okay, and
Which is really awkward.
really awkward and bad. But I have finally figured out when it's appropriate to slide at first, right? One, you should do it head first. But number two, I kept getting to these ground outs where the shortstop would hurry the throw, and so throw would bring the first baseman towards the line, down the line. And so what would happen is, as I'm running, he would just swipe and tag me. So I made it easier for him, right? So when I slid, now he can't. It's harder. He has to swipe lower, right? He has to come down a little harder.
Yeah.
So
he last thing he's expecting is for you to be low.
yeah, exactly,
So
right?
it's a big whiff.
It's a big whiff because usually it's a high in a kind of a way, and so you grab it, and as a first baseman, you try to sweep down. So I found that to give me a little bit more base hits that way. So, but yeah, feet first, and the first baseman is not going to appreciate that.
Even big whiffs still might be outs in some of these leagues.
Correct. Right. He got your helmet, right? He got you in the helmet.
And whoa. I don't think those are hits. If the throw is bringing the
I know.
first baseman,
you know, I was trying to sneak that one by you, Cody.
off the line.
I was trying to sneak that one by you, and you got it. Because I was like, I don't think that's a hit.
So,
I like to think my speed made him hurry up, and I would have beat it anyways. But yes, you're right. It's not.
now, yeah, you could take advantage of the error.
Yeah. Make him pay for it.
Yeah.
Now we had an interesting error yesterday, and I think upon further investigation, it was determined that it was a hit, which was the runner got hit by the baseball. Is that your understanding? That if a batter hits his own runner, right, his own teammate running, regardless of where he's going from, second to, first to second, second to third, or whatever, obviously the runner is out, but is it still ruled a base hit?
I believe it is. Yes.
Yeah, that's what this unnamed player said, that he got a base hit, and I was like, all right, I'll take your word for it. What's up, Tim? So I'll take your word for it if you believe that. But we definitely, I would say yesterday we were coming back. The game kind of got out of control, and then we were kind of climbing back, and I would say two big running errors at the end of the game kind of cost us this momentum,
Yeah, I didn't realize the game was that close.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, we were. I agree with you, right? Because it was sort of out of control, but we were. I was coming up as a tying run, and then we had one player in scoring position, so I mean, anything could have really happened, and like they were saying, Kyle was a little wild, so he could have easily walked me, bases loaded, base hit, and you start to make things happen. So, it's a thing that you just know no one's gonna. You don't know what could have happened had we played things a little different.
Yeah, you don't want to end the game that way. I mean, you don't want to do too much, right? And I imagine that's what he was doing. Just trying to take that extra 90, just to get.
And sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about let's say what happened. I think the first inning. Nick was on second. And I chased one down, like up the middle. I slid to catch it. Fucking ball pops out of my hand, right? And then he's at third, and he sees that I drop it. He takes off. I mean, the ball. I'm still in the infield, right? And I throw it, and he makes a zero hero move, and he became a hero because he was safe.
Yeah. It was a good throw. It was a really close play.
Yeah. But
maybe if Dane was positioned a little differently, that's
what I think. But I don't want to put it all on Dane because I should.
It looked like he was reading the hop, and maybe that's why he stayed back there.
Well, so here's what threw me off was he did lean back, but he was already behind the plate, right? Like he was behind the plate, and then he tried to read the hop, and then he just leaned further back, which caused him to be further back than he needed to be. And then when he dove forward to tag, he was safe. But I personally think that had he been in front of the plate, like normally you are, the ball would have bounced right in his glove, or either right in his glove or bounced right into his glove, or you just swipe and the guy's out. So, but it is what it is. I should have not made it that way. I mean, had I received it, threw it to first, we already had that out. Nick would have stayed at third, and it is what it is. But I put it more on me because I dropped the ball. So, but that's baseball, right?
It is. Yeah, we agree, Ryan. That ball got to you really fast. Definitely not as fast as the one I valeted over.
Oh man, which one?
The one I jumped over.
Oh yeah,
second to third.
Yeah, I remember that.
More of a distraction.
And that's what you're supposed to do, But stupid Omar had to hit it hard to right field. Dude, Had it gone to right field, who knows what it would have done, you know? I mean, I don't know how many people could have scored on that, you know? He says, I see no stats for Goodfellas. What's going on? I thought you guys were sticklers for it. You used to get on my ass.
Well, here's the thing, Juan. We're on a 3-game losing streak. So who the hell wants to boast stats?
Which is I kind of think it's true because, I mean, you know, Hunter did have it on his phone.
Yeah.
So all you got to do is hit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he's slacking in that department.
But see, you know, even the Braves game, like I think the Rich, you know, was like, hey,
Yeah.
sink it. And I don't know if there's a problem with the
But there is, yeah, because there's no stats for that game.
Yeah, I know.
At least there wasn't when I checked.
Yeah, well, I got a friendly reminder text this today
Of
about
course. Yeah.
hey, you know, get your stats up. But it's important, man, because you want to read the game. You want to go back and see what happened. So I don't.
Why else are we here?
Yeah, stats are everything, right? But yeah, maybe you don't want the stats to be posted, right? Shoot, I don't think I do it. What did I do? I walked at least, but you know, it's and then Ronte robbed me of a nice little hit to right field after I battled, you know, but. That's the game right there.
Well, that's what a right fielder should do on a right-handed batter.
Yeah.
Play in.
Yeah, it's true, right? Because sometimes we play too deep, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look at, you know, the corners, and you know, if they're the batter's the opposite, I'm like, hey man, you're too deep, dude. Like you got to come in, because that'll happen, you know. What's up, Manny?
That happens more often than driving the ball in the gap the other way in this league, I think.
Well, you know, Kyle was throwing pretty hard, you know, so it's you know, I actually was really surprised that
more of a reason to be late to pop it up the other way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I, you know, with like you said, 2 strikes, I'm trying to protect. I want to make sure he's not dropping something funky on, you know, funny that's gonna move on me, something I can hit. And luckily, I was able to, you know, drive it the other way. But you know, right into Ronte's glove. That's my luck. You know, but I think you got somebody got one in the right field. I think it was Omar or somebody got one in the right field too.
No, I didn't swing the bat.
He went up there just looking like, yeah, this is
struck out on a full count and then walked on a 3-1. Never swung the bat.
Yeah, man, it's just one of those nights, man. It's one of those nights. I mean, good game for the Panthers, you know. So shout out to those guys, but keep playing so we can. What he said. Yeah, keep playing in so we can burn you all in the right. All right, you know, and that happens too, right? And then, but
well, when it starts happening, that's when you adjust.
Yeah, I agree.
But it seems like those are few far in between.
Yeah,
those really other way drives. They don't happen as often as the little pop-ups. The opposite way pop-ups, in my opinion.
No, and I agree.
Yeah.
And that's what is that supposed to baseball, right? It's stats, right? It's why some guys swing on 3-0, right? Statistically, the guy's supposed to drop a fastball right there, so you swing, you know. Yeah. It's all stats. It's all what you think is going to happen. So not a lot of people drive the ball the opposite way hard, right? But some guys do, and some guys read that and go, all right, man, I'm just going to.
Or you already know who they are, and you may kind of step that way. That's what I do.
Like Ronte was good about going oppo. He kept going. He kept going, whether it was purposely or just he was late on everything. Either way, he was consistently going oppo, and so he was getting on. So you know, kudos to him, you know, for doing that. So, but you know, that's the way.
I think he robbed you, and I think Diego robbed him.
Yes.
Once. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did that. I think he laid out for one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Diego got one back.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't a good game for us, for sure, or not as good as it should have been. But that's the way baseball goes.
And we're competing with the Astros too.
I know. They're losing 7-2, man.
That's why I'm thinking maybe we have more people viewing because they're losing. We'll switch over.
And I appreciate. We appreciate you guys tuning in, especially since we're an hour late.
That was on purpose. We started late because let's see if they can make a big lead or they're getting beat bad.
Yeah, actually,
draw some more attention.
What's kind of funny, it kind of did work out, man. Because when I woke up and I saw 7-1, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be good. Like people are gonna tune in. Because if it was a close game, people were gonna be like, no, I gotta watch this. And that's why we have it on, right? So we can kind of keep an eye on it, but.
And also, it was Mountain Time that we posted the
Yeah,
8:30.
It wasn't Houston time, man. It wasn't Houston time. But
Have you, I know we don't talk MLB, but since we're on the Astros, have you seen how the umpires in MLB make the the calls on the loudspeaker now?
I seen it. I haven't seen it live. I've only seen like the first one that they showed. You know, the guys, hey, this is the first time they did it.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's like football.
Right?
It makes me think of football. It's like, well, this is interesting. I mean, I like the explanation. I think they're gonna have to get better at explaining it, and they will.
Yeah, it's the first time going out. I mean, I think it's the game. Every game evolves, right? I mean, you basketball, baseball, football. Every game evolves. That's why, like I mean, if you think about.
Because there's a lot of interpretation, right? They're using their hands, they're doing signals, all kind of stuff, and you're in the stands thinking, okay, well, I got to interpret what they're talking about.
And you think about, okay, in NFL, the football, the umpire, referee, he's viewing it, he's making the call, right? He's looking through there and he's making the call. Where I kind of never liked that the MLB, that just some guy,
somebody else
make. I really don't like that. I feel like, wait a minute, like you trust this guy on the field, you don't trust him to look at a camera, like or a TV screen, like any other sport. So I find that a little odd, but it is what it is.
I would like to think there's a team of guys in a booth somewhere, like looking
Taking
at
a vote.
all these angles, right, to get it right.
That's a good point.
Whereas you got, one set of eyes making the call in football.
It's true. That's a good point. I mean, it could be a set of guys. It could just be,
I think it's more than one guy.
Think so? Have they ever said it?
I don't know.
Maybe
that's why it's just New York.
Hey,
no one really knows.
It's almost like remember that.
Maybe they're calling Vegas, and to try and swing it one way or another.
They're calling the guy from Who Wants to Make a Deal. The guy,
the man behind the curtain.
The man behind the curtain, man. Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's a mystery, right? It's a mystery. We don't know what really goes on. It's funny. But it was definitely a good weekend with a lot of home runs, man.
Man, there was a ton of home runs.
Yeah, a lot of home runs, and we'll get into a very good one here when we get into HHL. That put the internet on fire, man.
Well, let's tackle the HBA Saturday League home runs first.
Let's go.
The Colt 45 beat the Padres 18-2. Wow.
Man. Put a spank, and I think there was 2 home runs.
It had to have been a few. Yeah, there was 3 actually. 4. No, 3. Sorry. Jimmy had 1.
Of course.
Didn't do much good, I guess. Only for your stats. Colt 45, Dominique Padilla and Jose Galvan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was Jose, man. He hit a bomb. Like he got all of that, man, and I think I'm gonna call it Jimmy got jimmied, because I think Jimmy was pitching when that bomb went out, and so it's
we don't know, because there's no pitching stats for the Padres.
If I remember right, and I didn't want to call out my boy Jimmy, because I don't want. I was tempted to put Jimmy got jimmied, but I think Jimmy, like anybody, can accept. Hey man, you're gonna get one on me, right? Like most pitchers, there's some pitchers that are home run hitters, and Jimmy's one of them, right? And I'm sure he could. See, Kyle says it was Jimmy, and it just happens, man. I mean, just you leave one over, and the batter will make you pay for it. And the Colt 45s are definitely on a roll, man. I mean,
they're making a run.
They're making a run, man. They're gonna, and
making a statement while they do it.
For sure. So I mean, we got them. Probably like at the end of the season, right? Because our
probably the last game.
Last game, yeah.
Maybe they'll be tired by then.
Yeah, hopefully. I think I said that. I think I said this. I was like, "Hey, who will you be tired by then? Tired of winning and shit."
Yeah, but then again, we probably will be too. Cyclones over the Twins, 7-1, and it looks like DeSilvani had 2 bombs.
They were saying they're 400-foot bombs.
MLB style, huh?
MLB style, man. And yeah.
Looks like he went yard off of Corey. But there's only one home run, so I don't know who was pitching for the other one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ironbirds beat the Hellcats 12-4.
Hellcat struggling.
Yeah, and I believe there was a home run. Yeah, Pablo Hernandez for the Ironbirds.
Nice.
We might have a home run in every game. We do, actually. The Redbirds and the Rangers, we talked about that game thinking, hey, this might be a good one. 8-1, Redbirds, not as good as you would have thought.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But, you had Tim in there, so what do you have? 5 strikeouts, no walks, only 3 hits. Shutting down offenses.
That's what it is. He's a batting average hater.
So Nathan Alexander went yard for the Redbirds along with Daniel Lingua. Couple RBIs. No, I guess not a grand slam.
Well, the thing is, like, somebody had mentioned in one of these. I was on the best baseball in Houston page. I said, "Hey man, what's the deal with HBA? Why is there so many home runs?" And really, because we've seen home runs. We've seen home runs not only at Memorial Ashford, right, but we've also seen home runs at Northern Christian, which is a little bit harder to hit, and Choice has had a few of them actually. I think he's had like 2 of them over there, and it's one of those things where, like, one, like I always say, the home run is not a wall scraper, right? I mean, the ball's just traveling, right? So regardless of the size of the field, that ball's fucking going. But I think one of the reasons people think that there's so many home runs and stuff is, I think, because of the coverage that happens, right? Through Stadium Cast, right? If you don't have that coverage, you kind of don't know about it, right? It's like that whole what's that wise tale, or that thing goes, if a tree falls in the forest and you don't see it, does it make a noise, right? Like, it's a whole thing, right? Yeah, there's home runs that happen in other leagues, but if there's no video, like,
we don't know.
We don't know, right? So people have to do it, and like, it was actually a pretty cool home run from Dominic Torres that I just posted tonight, and there was 2 angles. There was the angle from the side, and then there was the angle that Ayla was wearing a chest GoPro, and he was at second base. It was a really cool shot.
He's wearing a chesty?
I didn't want to say that. I wasn't sure how people were going to interpret that, but that is the proper name. It is a chesty, and it was kind of cool. It was a different angle. Like, it's like you see his point of view, and you just see him look up, and the ball goes over, and it was at Schwartz Park. I mean, and it was looked like a no doubter, So it was a different. It was wasn't on Stadium Cast, but it was caught on camera.
We got evidence.
We got evidence of it, So
Schwartz, that's a big center field. I don't know where he hit it, but
he hit it left.
Yeah.
Left. But I mean, I think, like, again, it is short, but I think it was like a no doubt. Right? He might have got it over the second fence. I wasn't there, but it's
And there was home runs in the last game.
Yeah.
8-1 Pirates over the Braves. Dre had 2 of them. Mr. Dre Rangel.
Yeah, 2, man. I mean, that dude, and to compliment him, because I complimented him that day of the game, was that a lot of these power hitters can hit breaking balls and can't sit back on a slow pitch, right? And that guy was throwing pretty slow, and he usually that's the kryptonite. That's the kryptonite for power hitters. Like, you throw them slow or you throw them breaking ball, like they're gonna roll over, they're gonna pop up, or they're gonna hit long flyouts, right? But you got somebody like him that just sat back, man, and did what he was supposed to do with the ball. Man.
Well, he talked about it last week when he was here.
Right? Yeah.
He made adjustments.
It did, and that's what it comes down to. So people need to make those adjustments, and if it's just you're going into slow pitchers or you're going to fast pitchers, you got to make that adjustment.
He had over half of the RBIs,
Right?
five. So he kind of beat the Braves.
Yeah, he beat the Rays, and we were just along for the ride.
Yeah.
Oh man, and he went I think 3 for 4 if I remember right,
Yes.
and he probably could have had a third one. Honestly, I thought he would have, but he got a little injured, so it wasn't able to complete the 3 for 3 home runs. But it's one of those things where people need to make those adjustments if they're gonna play in different leagues.
Yeah.
You know.
So we were missing 2 games. I think there's a game Friday.
No, that guy can't. Or the Yard Goat Friday game got canceled.
Okay, I was speaking just for Saturday. The Marlins and the Avengers are playing Friday.
This Friday.
Right. Because they didn't play Saturday.
Yeah, they're going to play this Friday.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they didn't play last Saturday.
Correct. Yeah.
And then there was another, because there was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So there was 2 other teams that didn't play.
Who's that?
I don't know offhand, but I'm assuming it was because of the holidays.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is because people try to go out the weekend, and it's one of those things where you want to get your games in, right? Because you don't know next weekend it could be a rain out, right, or whatever. So it kind of sucks, but same time you kind of have to respect the family time that some people go out of town.
Yeah. So I mean, the Shooters, there got to be one team that didn't play. So there was 4 teams that didn't play, and I don't know the others. Let's see.
I'm trying to see if I can guess. Dang, I can't think of it. There's no more Bandits, right?
No. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all right.
There's 14 teams, right?
Yep.
So 5, that's 10 games. 11, 12. Yeah, somebody else didn't play.
It has to be, I just can't think of it who it was, but it's and they're gonna have their Friday game and Saturday game this weekend.
So who did they play Saturday?
Who's that?
The Marlins. So that makes you wonder who they're going to throw, right? Who's going to be the better competition? Oh, they play the Redbirds.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be a tough one.
So you save your guy for Saturday? Because you can't sleep on the Avengers.
No, that's what makes it tough. It's not an easy schedule. It's not an easy schedule, man. You can't. I mean, I think right now there's some small exceptions, but you really can't sleep on anybody, right? Because what do we always talk about? You don't want to be that team that gives up and we've kind of seen it on good teams that play a little bit lesser teams, and you see the score a little close, because you can kind of see that they, didn't play as hard or waited too long to turn it up, and before they knew it, aviators and shooters is what Buckaloo says. And so those are the 4 teams.
Yeah.
The other team that didn't go. But you just to me you just don't know. You just never know what's gonna happen. Right now I think these guys are talking about the what we could talk about when we get to HHL. But I think Sunday was supposed to play Friday, but that didn't happen. So there was no Sunday game.
So okay,
Sunday.
yeah, no hardball games, no Sunday league games.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there was somebody playing on Sunday. Somewhere in the league, right?
Well, you know what? Yeah, I guess Dominic. Oh, I guess
think
Mexican
somebody-
League. Yeah. I mean that home run had to have came on Sunday. The Ramones played on on Sunday, so I gotta believe they played after Easter, after church.
Well, I was thinking we'd go through the standings since we are over halfway
Let's
of the
go.
season, but there's still some games out there that need to be played.
Let's see, just see where we're at.
So Colt 45 and the Redbirds are both 7-1, so they're 1-2. Rangers and Cyclones are 6-2. Pirates, Ironbirds, and Padres are all 5-3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then rounding out 7 and 8 are the Padres and the Marlins.
Wow.
Or no, I'm sorry. The Padres are 5 and 3. Marlins are 4 and 3. Aviators 4 and 3. But they could. One of those teams is going to be 5 and 3.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the other's going to be 4 or whatever. Yeah. So there's 8 teams go to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody's not going to make it because there's a gap, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 9 teams that are pretty competitive, right? And then from there, everything just kind of drops off. So one team is not going to make it, and it might come down to the wire.
Yeah, and with right now, it's like, I mean, we got one game that we didn't play, so it's that's part of what Pirates at. And then, of course, Marlins and these guys are gonna play next. They're gonna play 2 games next week. So, yeah, it makes it tough.
So those tiebreakers are going to come in effect.
Yeah.
Who beat who?
Who beat who?
Let's do no Sunday League games. We can jump over to HHL. 30 and up.
30 and up, man. Which is a good topic because these guys are talking about the 29-year-olds in the league. Difference maker. And
do we have any names? Are they name dropping?
Not that I could tell. I'm trying to keep up with it, but I know they're it's pretty hot and heavy about having the 29-year-old there. So,
they are difference makers, like they say.
Yeah.
Especially they can, hit 2 home runs.
I feel like you're specifically thinking of somebody when you said that.
No, anybody who hits 2 home runs in a game is pretty good. Like that makes a difference.
It does.
Yeah, I mean 1 home run maybe, but 2, it's gonna make a difference.
And you get 5 RBIs in those 2 home runs. Yeah, man.
Whatever.
But it does make a difference maker, especially when you think about what we've always thought about it. Even though we're playing the 30 and up, we're 40 and up. And so when you got a guy that's 29, he looks like he's 21. So, but what I do like is it did get more competitive in that league. Whether it's good or bad, it got a little bit more competitive.
Well, if anyone call him out, he must be 18 to 20s. Call him out. You know anybody's name? Go for it.
Go for it,
right? So on Wednesday the 13th, the Pelicans beat the Goodfellas 5-1, and the JS Texas beat Diablos 5-4. That must have been a good game.
Yeah, sounds like a good game.
And then there was 2 games Friday. Panthers beat the Armadillos 17-2, and the Thunder beat the Sultanes 10-8, which I understand was a good game.
Man, a lot of
we have some stats. Hey, look at here.
We have
3 home runs.
Was it 3?
I'm seeing 3.
Who did they call out?
For the Sultanes, Brandon Jasper.
Okay.
And then the Thunder was Wilmy and Choice. I believe Choice was the walk-off.
Yeah, I didn't even hear about Wilmy. Yeah, that's how much the walk-off home run overshadowed it.
It does, right?
Yeah. But they were saying, even with obviously to me the walk-off put the bow on the present, right? Or the cherry on top. But they were saying that it was a great game. Not only were the players chatting about it, but even the umpires, were chatting about it. Like, man, that was a good game. So I wasn't doing shit. Now it kind of makes me regret that I should have been paying attention. I should have went out there and recorded it. But it was just
You weren't doing anything on a Friday night? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I don't think I was doing anything. Like, I think I was like enjoying my rest. You know what I mean? Like, I just, like you say, sometimes like between the show, what we go cover, what we play in our own little thing, like you just like, hey man, like
I'm done.
I'm done. Yeah.
No baseball today.
No baseball.
Right?
Like, I'm good. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess if you are tired, it's still fun to watch it. If
For
you're
sure.
too tired to play.
For sure. I mean,
especially if it's a good game.
But the thing is, you don't know it's a good game.
I know, but you can look at the schedule, right? I imagine you would have done that. Said, okay, where do I go? Do I go to the Panthers and the Armadillos or the Thunder and the Sultanas?
Thunder Sultanas for sure would have been the one. You know,
And probably driving a little farther out to Mason.
yeah, but you know, the thing with that game, man, it just they said it was just an awesome game, and for that that walk-off home run, it's just insane, man. Coming clutch like that, just
It's funny. We had a couple here, within the span of a week.
right, exactly. You had Dre's, in the championship, and then you have this one that probably could be foreshadowing a championship game, right? It could be the look into the future of the Sultanes versus Texas Thunder in the championship. So, who knows? But right now, like these guys are saying, the conversation began with the question on allowing less than 30-year-old pitchers pitching 30 plus, and I think that it goes back to everybody wants to get that edge. Every team wants to get that edge, and they're gonna do what they can to get that edge. And we talked about this again. I think came up last year before, about having people under 30 in the 30 plus league. Is that you have to draw the line somewhere. You got to stop, right?
But there has to be a rule.
There has to be a rule.
What is the rule?
Yeah, 30 and up. And I don't know that officially that 29 is a real rule, right? Like I don't know if that we just kind of adopted that. Now, I think in the tournaments they adopted 1 year below that age, you can still play, but you can't pitch. But it's tough because
Shouldn't be, but it shouldn't be tough, right? It's an organization. It has bylaws, right? They should be adhered to.
Yeah.
And they should be written somewhere where you can see it.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree because I think
or presented if requested, right?
Yeah, here, let me see your ID, man. Let me see what I'm gonna need. Let's see. Sultanes won the game in a way. Our guys got good taste of how competitive this league is. A lot of our guys haven't played in a long time. So yeah, I mean it
It makes you step up, right?
It does.
So that's good. You come in here and you say, hey, these guys are playing well. You step up your game. You're competing.
You're competing, man. You're competing. I mean, it's the Thunder always competes. It's always a good game. I mean, it's they got some legendary people on that team. And you can't sleep. You can't definitely. I mean, they're not. More than likely, you might take advantage of them sleeping on you, and do that. But you definitely can't sleep on them. But the Sultanes came out, new team to the league, and came out swinging.
So there were two games yesterday. We already talked about ours. The Panthers and the Goodfellows 11-8. The Pelicans beat the Armadillos 17-4. Boy, 30 and up is there's just two games every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It looks like.
Wow.
Yeah. So we got two games on Wednesday and two games on Friday.
Oh wow.
Just beating up Mason and Anderson.
Right. It's and it's one of those things too where there's what do we say? There's if whatever day is good for you, there's probably some baseball out there for you. So I like the weekday games. Mason's not that close for me. I wish it was Schwartz, but I don't know, man. I don't know if it's my age or what, but it's getting a little harder and harder to see that baseball out there because the lights the lights have gone out or I don't know, it could be old age too. There's that, and then of course you got them a-holes, and I call them a-holes. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and call them a-holes. They don't know they're a-holes, but
They're
leave their headlights
inconsiderate,
right? They don't know.
They don't think.
Yeah.
Think about what you're doing.
Yeah. They
I blame the automatic headlights, right?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
I still rock my. Let's turn it on.
Yeah.
Time for lights. Turn them on.
Yeah, and you're right. If it was the old school cars, we wouldn't have this problem. But
you can't see the cars that are parked behind home plate with the lights on, just sitting there. If you're on the left side of the infield or the right, you just can't see.
Can't see.
I'm in right. You're at second, and I think it was Ronte was batting.
Yeah.
and I couldn't even see.
And you think about it, like that's like the perfect storm, right? You got a lefty up there, and then you got the fucking lights like they're like, dude, I hope the fucking ball doesn't come over here.
Yeah.
You know, so it's bad. You know, like Jonathan said, yeah, one light works on the pole behind the home plate. You know, and it's just it is what it is. You know, and you just gotta work through it, man.
And I'm okay so long as we get through that damn twilight. I'm okay.
Well, it's funny because there's certain parks have their own advantages, right? Like we were playing on Mason 2, not this weekend, but the weekend before on a semifinal game, and we were playing the late game, right? I think the 6 o'clock game, and the sun started going down. No, I think it was a 3 o'clock game. And the sun started going down, and it's in your face, man. And it's funny because you're making that pitcher look like he has the most wickedest shit because you're swinging blindly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they throw the ball, you know, high, a little bit high, and it, you know, it's a 12-6 curveball, like you're just swinging. And it's funny because, you know, pitcher comes in, he's, oh yeah, I'm down. Hey, but don't forget, dude, now you got a bat. Now your team's got a bat. So now my pitcher is gonna come in there and do the same thing.
Yeah.
And you saw it in the last probably 6 batters, or you know, maybe even 9 batters on both sides all the way through, that everybody struggled because the sun was in your face. I mean, I even went up there with sunglasses.
Yeah, that doesn't help sometimes.
It doesn't. It doesn't help. So
it's still in your face.
Still in your face, man.
Just one of the subtleties we got to work through on some of these, you know, insufficient parks and fields.
Yeah, I honestly wish that
you would think, I mean, there's a way to build them, right? You do some research. Okay, let me build it where it's not facing this way, because more often than not, there's going to be more games in the evening, right, than in the morning. It's a safe bet, I would think. Let's face it the other direction.
I agree, man. I agree, but then you got some parks that kind of make it interesting, like we've talked about. Like it's hard to hit it out of Northern Christian. There's some sort of wind or something. I don't know what, or even Veterans Park over there in Pasadena, or no, Pearland. I mean, it's like it's almost like a pitcher's, you know, ball. So
yeah.
I like the uniqueness of it, and sometimes it plays to your advantages, sometimes it doesn't. You know, 2 weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, there was a few, you know, the few home runs at Memorial Ashford because it was windy and it was blowing out.
Yeah.
You know, and all you had to do just kind of put it up in the air and it was just going to go out. And so there's some days the advantage, you got to play to those advantages, right? Make it work towards your favor. And so, but so now thinking about it, it's kind of cool. You know, they're not all the same, right? Like you're like, all right, don't play at this park at this time, don't play at that park at that time, or you know,
or if you do, you know about it and you just try and deal with it.
Yeah, but I agree, man. I honestly wish, you know, I wish, to be honest, that there would be some sort of like, I guess it's the right word, philanthropist. Somebody that would like just donate a bunch of money and say, hey, look, I want my money to go to these baseball parks, nothing else. My money goes, and like fix the mounds, fix the infields, especially fix the damn lights. You know, get some, you know, somebody out there to work them the way they should be.
That would be nice, but instead of doing that, they're selling to developers.
And you know what? You know what's crazy? I have to confirm that because I got asked that question. I sent the emails to the park. I mean, to Parks and Recs or whatever, the city of Houston. And I don't think I got a reply back. Like, hey, what do you got? What's the plan? I know I saw a link long time ago, but I wanted to confirm, and I never got it. I never got it. An answer.
Are you surprised you're not getting an answer from a bureaucracy?
I feel like you're throwing rocks over here, man.
No.
And you know, I kind of am.
I'm just stating the inefficiencies of
our
government.
Right. I shouldn't be surprised, right?
It's just sitting in a mailbox somewhere. No one's even looked at it.
They're probably no. The worst part is they did look at it and just kind of skipped over. Fuck this guy. That's the worst part.
Who are you? What are you? You don't deserve a response.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Shut your damn face up. You know.
I would see that more than someone just not even looking at it.
Hey, David says.
Because that sounds like underpaid government employees.
and some of it is underpaid, but some of it's like some you get paid too damn well not to damn answer these damn emails too. But David said that whoever installed or placed the lights at Schwartz needs to be hit in the face with a sock full of nickels. That's a little harsh there.
Just hit him with a baseball.
Right? And
Yeah, that right field, playing right field at Schwartz is, it's a little challenging.
you know, you know, here's the thing. You're right. Juan says, "Hey, you'd be wasting your money, right?" But my point is that the hope would be that this person who would donate this type of money, um, that we as a community baseball community come together and be like, hey, we need to take care of it, right? Because we've seen it at its worst, right? Like if you go to some of these, HHL doesn't play at HHL plays at the nice Mason, but in the other leagues we play at Mason 2, and you probably don't even know about Mason 3. That's like the redheaded stepchild underneath the basement ballpark, right? It's pretty bad.
Didn't know there was a third one.
Yeah, there is a third one. It's way back there. It's bad train tracks. It's really bad. Short field. And it's we know how bad it is, and so it'd be nice to say, hey, let's not let it get like that. Because honestly, I would like to see the mounds, the infield and outfield taken care of, even dugouts, man. Like I wish, have nice covering. I mean, we're at HBA, we got nice covered not indoor, but somewhat.
Yeah, and you fit.
Yeah, and you
fit in the damn things.
Yeah.
Whereas you're not overflowing and spilling out of the others,
Oh man, like which one? Oh, Mason 2 with the tennis courts across the street. Oh man, there's no covering. Y'all can't fit. Everybody can't fit in there, so all our bags are on the outside.
Yeah, it's just like Schwartz. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
But I can see that it used to be covered, right? It has these frames up there where there used to be wood.
Or do you think it was an attempt, and then somebody said, "Hey, you can't do that. You can't improve the park. Get out of here."
I don't know.
That's a good point, right?
I mean, maybe I'm thinking all the wood rotted, and they're like, no, we don't need these.
I'm gonna have to maybe do some research on Google Earth and go back and see if I ever seen a little shade. You said Schwartz?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some research there. But it'd be nice to play on nice parks, and we can't have And the reason I was saying.
This is not a lot of money in it.
And that's my point. Well, that's why I want to say philanthropist, right? Because if the city did it, the fees, they would charge more money for the park, right? And then all the fees would go up, right? So I feel like a philanthropist is like, hey man, I'm just donating my money. Here we go. Do whatever. Just the city wouldn't have to do anything different other than just keep it up what they've already were been doing. But
I'm sure they'd raise the rate.
All right. Anyway, it wasn't even their money, huh?
You're right. Why not? They can do what they want.
Yeah, but that's I guess that's the pipe dream, man. So if anybody out there who wins the lottery, you better donate back to Houston, man. The Stros gotta quit giving the kids a nice field. They gotta give the adults some nice field too. Oh shit, that fool just went yard. Damn, that's a bomb. Oh my bad.
No, it held up.
The wind must have kicked in. It looked good when it took off. And I wasn't paying attention to how the
well, it's a good thing you didn't flip your bat and start jogging, right?
Well, what's funny is I think there's been some people who like get a little too, like you said, either flip their bat a little too early, make it a long single, or you got some announcers that they call it off the bat and then it just ends up not going, and now you look stupid because you got all pumped up about that home run. Didn't go nowhere. So I see Astros renovated Turner Park years ago and made it strictly into youth academy. Oretta had it back then, but lost it due to it. And that's what I'm saying, right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like you're taking the money, and I get it, love the kids and shit, but man, who the hell buys your overpriced tickets? The damn adults do, And so I think the other ones that buy the season tickets. So it's like, are you really? What are you really doing, right? You're doing it for the kids, but the adults are, Houston's big for baseball.
That's who spends money.
That's
the
who
adults,
spends
right?
money. Yeah, that's who spends the money, man. My kid never take me out to the ball game. He's not buying that oversized orange taco hat. Like he's paying $40 on a foam hat or some shit. So but that's what happens, and that's annoying, And then
nobody wants to watch a bunch of grown men out there. It's all about the kids.
I know. Yeah.
Unfortunately, right?
Hey, so David said get back on track. Well, do we get all the scores?
Uh, I think so.
Do we get the 40 and up?
40 and up. Let's see. Where were we?
Oh, I see. Now they want the score because, Astros just lost.
Oh, there it is. Let's get over with. 40 and up. Let's see. There were 2 games on Tuesday. Last Tuesday. Hurricanes are dominating.
I was going to say,
again.
can I guess that the Hurricanes won?
Hurricanes and the Angels both won.
Okay.
2 games on Thursday. Angels won again. The Hurricanes won 22-4 against the Panthers.
God damn.
Dell might need a little help from his 30-0 team.
You know what? I might hit up Dell and say, hey man, let me get.
Let's see if there's any stats here.
When you guys play the Hurricanes, I want to play against them.
No stats.
No stats.
And then I think there's 2 games tonight.
Oh, is there really? Nice.
Yeah, Hurricanes. What? Hurricanes lost. Hurricanes are playing the Angels. I don't know. It says 4-2, but it says it's tonight, unless it's already over. Oh my God! It's almost 11. So maybe it is. Look at here. The Angels beat the Hurricanes 4-2.
Hey, what is it? Breaking news, right?
Yeah.
Breaking news. I mean, it can't get any pressure.
This just in.
Oh man. So.
Wow. So they got their first loss. Doesn't matter. The Hurricanes. Yeah, the Angels gave the Hurricanes their first loss.
What did you say the score was?
4-2.
Oh man. You know what it was? I bet you some of those guys were at the game. Like the core group. You know what I mean? Oh man.
I mean, the Hurricanes are still 8-1, and the Angels are in second at 4-4.
Wow. You know what? How can I forget this? Aztecas and the Cardenales having the championship game for the Barons League this Sunday. And I'm going to be a part of that. Unfortunately, I have to miss my Pirates game.
You said Sunday?
Saturday, I meant. Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm so used to Mexican League Sunday.
Yeah.
But
because Sunday would be nice if you played.
Yeah, so we got our game doubleheader on Saturday, man. So hopefully we can close it out that Saturday, and next Saturday be back on schedule with HBA. But that's gonna be a good game, man. Hopefully I'll get it's a best of 3. Hopefully I can have my GoPro going and we have a live feed out there, so we get the first. I don't think I've done a Veteranos championship game before, so I think that'll be the first one. But the thing is like, when you think about 40, 38, or I think it's 38 or 40 plus guys, people kind of grow, the people that we play with. I mean, Jimmy,
we're all getting older.
Yeah, exactly. And so you play with those guys, and the competition's a little bit better. So it's definitely not a slow pace. I mean, some of these guys can bring it, man. Some of these guys can hit, and these pitchers are experienced, right? They're not just gonna lead over the plate. They're gonna make sure you look stupid up there. So it's gonna be a good game. So it's gonna be a championship game. So look forward to that.
Do you have a game on Sunday?
I think I do.
So we're looking at a 4 consecutive game.
Again, huh?
Yeah.
No, what about Monday?
Yes.
Oh yeah, 4. That's 4. That's true.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and
oh
Monday.
Man, damn. I'm already tired thinking about it, Cody.
I know, right in the middle of it.
Yeah. Any more scores?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
35 and 55, but I'll give you some standings. We don't need scores. Right?
Yeah, good standing. That's good.
I mean, same thing. Hurricanes 4-0. Expos 3-2. Cyclones 2-2. Hey, there's an Astros team 2-3, and the Marauders 0-4.
Oh man,
what is going on there?
Might have to change the name of that team. The woes continue.
I think that's it.
Nice.
Any so I know they just had a championship in the Liga Metropolitana. But it just kicks off right again, right?
It does.
So
I mean,
you
you might.
got games on Sunday.
I haven't heard anything, but I assume they do. But I know uh I think the Alianza, I think, is moving back to Herrera. If I remember the chatter about it, I'm not 100% sure, but I know they're not gonna. I don't know if they're moving because the season's not gonna continue Metropolitana, or they just want to jump around and go somewhere else. So, but there's definitely a lot of baseball,
Do
man.
they want to conquer all the leagues?
Last time they did that, it didn't work out too well. So, I think
Maybe he's got another plan.
I think the only successful team that would kind of do that to jump around is the Hot Shots. They're able to kind of go out and conquer. But maybe Alianza has it. I think the problem last time is they didn't keep the core group together. They kind of split up. And so I think if you keep your core to help you win, then yeah, you'll be successful.
Stand a better chance at least.
I mean, that's what keeps the Hot Shots, right? Like, you get that same core that goes around and follows them. So that's the secret, right? Having a good core. So, but anything else, Cody? Since
No, I think we're good. Just looking ahead, I got some decent matchups. The Cyclones are going to play the Padres on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And we talked about the Marlins are going to play the Redbirds. We're going to play the Aviators.
Yeah, that should be good.
Yeah. And the Colt 45 is going to play the Ironbirds.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one right there.
Yeah. That's in Northland at 2. So we can watch a little bit of that if we get there early.
Hey, if I forget, shoot me a text. 'Cause I definitely want to check that out. Should be a good game.
Yeah.
Maybe Choice will get another bomb over there.
Braves and Hellcats.
Hmm.
It's funny because you got the lower, don't say lower, but you got the teams with not as many wins playing each other this weekend. It's like the Braves play the Hellcats, and then the Twins play the Avengers. And then everything else is like good games. Yeah.
It's gonna be a good Saturday. It's gonna be a good Tuesday, right?
Yeah. This Saturday, it's geared toward playoff spots. Like, hey,
right.
These are going to be big games to win.
I know we got to keep winning too. Shoot. Yeah. So that's what I hate about missing this Saturday. But man, championship game or regular game, but how it goes.
Yeah. You got to make the playoffs, right? So essentially, that's what we have to do this Saturday.
You give me a guilt trip right here, Cody.
No, I'm just laying it all out there. Yeah, I understand you're missing regular season games, but these regular season games have to be won to even get to the playoffs.
I agree for sure. And that's what do we always talk about, right? That's the problem when you're playing too many damn teams, man. It's like
you're all over the place.
You're all over the place, and you get these days where, like, hey, you got to make a choice.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I appreciate you guys watching the game and paying attention to us and staying up this late.
Yeah, that's enough dribble for one night, I guess.
It is, man, for sure. Cody just got here and he's on his way out. That's all I got, man.
Play safe, play smart, play hard.
There we go. See you guys next week.